This is Freedom Global News.
President's request. Federal Executive Council approves 348 trillion naira investment for 2021-2025 National Development Plan. Kano State Governor inaugurates Governing Council for Kano University of Science and Technology and Yusuf Mitamasula University. And on the foreign scene, United Nations says dozens of aid lorry drivers arrested in Ethiopia amid conflict. Citizens, please ensure you acquire yours. Good evening, you're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Today is the 14:43 after Hijri. And now the news in full. The Federal Executive Council has approved a 2021-2022 National Development Plan with an investment size of 300 billion, led by Vice President Yunus. The National Development Plan 2021 is structured around 6 concepts, including economic growth and development, social development, and regional development. According to the Minister, the federal government will broaden the tax base and expand the capacity of the private sector through creating investment opportunities as part of a funding strategy for the plan. In addition, the plan underpinned by a macroeconomic framework projecting an average GDP growth of 5% will have contributions by the public sector of 49.7 trillion naira, today approved the federal government's request to borrow $16.2 billion, about 6.6 Muhammad Library. In his remark, the State District Society chairman said they organized the walk to show the fitness of their members as well as carry out some humanitarian activities with regards to the less privileged and orphans.
In this day, we do walk from a particular point to our destination back to our office, just to show the fitness of our members. And also we still some activities during the week to do some visitations to the less privileged homes, that is orphans, and at this end we do some sensitization to business community, to go to schools and to do some activities, catch them program, and some very many programs like that to show what we are in the society.
Abdullahi Shehu added that as part of activities to mark the celebration of the day, the Institute will provide expertise and advisory roles as well as development of finance institution and counseling to youth for a better future. Correspondent Amina Halil Tudunwada reports that the state chapter health walk covered the route of Ahmad Bello Way to Murtala Muhammad and racecourse back to Murtala Muhammad Library. And on the sporting arena, Super Eagles returnee Odion Igalo has won the West Asia Player of the Month of October after his impressive performance for his Saudi Arabia club, Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab confirmed the win on their Instagram page before the Nigerian international also reshared on its social media pages. Correspondent Mohammed Sanu Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
Odion Igalo has scored 9 goals in 11 league games for Al-Shabaab this season, with 4 coming in October. Igalo was recalled to the Super Eagles for the 2022 World Cup qualifiers against Liberia and Cape Verde late last month by Ganatro, more than 2 years after he retired from international football. He is expected to join up with his teammate today in Tangier, Morocco. Sources hinted that Igalo has conceded the number 9 jersey to current handler of the shed, Victor Osimhen. Similarly, former Wimbledon striker John Fashanu believes Nigerian midfielder Wilfred Ndidi is ready to make the big move to Old Trafford following latest report that Manchester United are keen on signing him in January 2022. Brazilian Fred and Nemanja Matic have failed to impress this season, while there are discussions of Frenchman Paul Pogba living on a free next summer, with Real Madrid or Barcelona his possible destination. In another update, Super Eagles head coach Ghana Draw has kicked against the proposition by former Arsenal coach Arsene Wenger that the World Cup tournament should hold every 2 years. Wenger, head of global development for World Football Governing Body FIFA, had suggested overhauling the international match calendar from 2022 to have fewer international breaks and more meaningful matches. The proposition has been opposed by several national team coaches like Didier Deschamps, Roberto Martinez, Dragon Stojkovic, among others. And on tennis, US Open champion Emma Raducanu's breakthrough this season has ended with defeat in her opening match at the Upper Austria Ladies event in Linz. Raducanu, aged 18, lost 6-1, 6-7, 0-7, 7-5 to China's Wang Jingyu before confirming Tobin Belt will be her new coach. Mohammed Sanuba, Freedom Radio.
The global news is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, www.freedomradionig.com.
Ba za ka iya zuwa gurin sallah ba saboda mura da majina. Lalle ka sha maganin Mixagrip saboda samun sauki daga ciwon mura da kuma majina. Mixagrip yana da sinadarin paracetamol da kuma phenylephrine.
Mixagrip an yi shi da dangantaccen kamfanin magani mai suna Orange Drugs Limited. Idan ka ji alamomin mura da majina bayan kwana 3, ka je asibiti ka ga likita. Mixagrip, kar ka tsallake rana.
Samu sauki daga majina.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has inaugurated new governing councils of Kano University of Science and Technology, Wudil Coast, and that of Yusuf Mai Tamasile University, Kano, Yumsuk. A statement issued by Chief Press Secretary to the Governor Abba Anwar today said at the inauguration, which took place during State Executive Council meeting held at Africa House, Government House, reveals that they're being appointed based on their proven track records. According to the statement, Kano University of Science and Technology Wudil has Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who is retained as Chancellor, and Professor Zubairu Ilyasu as Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council. Members of the council are Professor Hamman Mahmood, Professor Garba Kawu, Dr. Clement Igbaji, Alhaji Abubakar Jatau, Aisha Jafaru, and Ihana Sabuba. The statement said the youth of Mitamasula University, Kano, has His Eminence Eze Dr. Eberechi and Dick J.P. Eze Udo, one of Mboku Ngwa Amesi Alt Community Patron Abia State Council of Traditional Rulers as the Chancellor, and Professor J.D. Amin, former Vice Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, and Federal University Dutse as Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council. Meanwhile, the Kano State government says it will use the findings of experts at Yusuf Maitama University to address the challenges posed by COVID-19. The Secretary to the State, Governor Alhaji Osman Alhaji, stated this today at the 5th Faculty of Social and Management Science Annual Conference with the theme Addressing the Challenge of COVID-19 Pandemic through SMS research held at the university. The Secretary said since the pandemic is still happening, the government needs to rub minds with academicians in order to find a lasting solution to the pandemic.
This conference will provide us with certain answers that will also go a long way to help us to ensure we deal with the COVID-19 pandemic as well as its effect.
In a remark, the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Mukhtar Atiku Kurawa, said the essence of the event is to turn all the findings into solutions to problems caused by COVID-19.
Now, the essence, as you are all aware, that the post-COVID-19 effects on the economic and social well-being of the society is very, very important. We know how devastating the pandemic was. Now, the aftermath is what is really bothering us. That's why this faculty, the Faculty of Social and Management Sciences, under this Mathematics organized this conference with the whole theme of what is the way forward as far as the post-COVID-19 is concerned.
At the event, papers were presented from different researchers on how to curtail and prefer solutions to the challenges COVID-19 has caused. For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here is the report.
Kano tomorrow morning is expected to have sunny intervals and light wind at an average temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and later increase to 30 degrees Celsius. Kaduna will have sunny and light wind at a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and later change to 28 degrees Celsius. Katsina will have sunny and light wind at a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and later increase to 27 degrees Celsius. Abuja will experience sunny intervals and light wind at a temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and later increase to 28 degrees Celsius. Lagos is expected to experience sunny intervals and light wind at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and later change to 29 degrees Celsius. Maradi will have the same weather condition at a temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and later increase to 29 degrees Celsius with gentle breeze. Zinda will have sunny intervals and light wind at an average temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and later change to 30 degrees Celsius. Sumaya Ali Muhammad, Freedom Radio.
And on business, Muhammad Abba Abdullahi has updates.
Farmers who subscribe to the Central Bank of Nigeria's Anchor Borrowers Program owed the Apex Bank 463 billion naira as of the end of March 2021. The CBN economic report for April has shown that the program was launched on November 17, 2015 by President Muhammadu Buhari to reverse the country's negative balance of payments, especially in the area of food. Beneficiaries of the program include farmers cultivating cereals, cotton, roots and tubers, sugarcane, tree crops, legumes, tomato and livestock. Meanwhile, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, says about $450 billion worth of new refinery projects and expansion of existing units will be invested in Nigeria and other developing countries. OPEC stated that the investments were part of the estimated $1.5 trillion that will be invested in the downstream sector of the oil and gas industry from this year till 2045. The OPEC Secretary General, Sunusi Barkindo, revealed this at the African Energy Week in Cape Town, South Africa. Muhammad Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
Another foreign scene, the United Nations says that 72 drivers contracted to deliver humanitarian aid have been arrested in the war-torn north of Ethiopia. It said that the drivers who were working for the World Food Programme, WFP, were detained in Samara, capital of the Afar region. The United Nations is speaking to the government to establish why they were stopped. The war in Ethiopia has caused a massive humanitarian crisis with more than 5 million in need of aid. And with this, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Enjoy the rest of your evening.